So a lot of people have been asking me for this, so here it is, the first in the series for the Asmakalis of Cycles Nightmare Raid section. To do this, you need to go over to the Labyrinth section and click on the Asmakalis of Cycles button. This will load you into the Classic Hell Raid interface. You can do Classic Hell Raid if Nightmare is a little too difficult. You still access the same shop, you just get currency a little slower and you don't get the nice Nightmare Raid drops. To get to the Nightmare section, you click on the Nightmare button and it will change the color to purple. Make sure you're seeing purple or you're not doing the new Nightmare section. So we'll start this journey at the beginning. We'll do Devourer Arahakan first. Devourer Arahakan is probably one of the easiest fights, but he is a little slow. The trick trick is such a negative word. The strategy we're going to employ here is control. We're going to make sure that the spiders in the front don't get a chance to take active turns and heal the Devourer so that we can whittle him down and not worry about healing. The first part of our control team is going to be Tenebria. I build her kind of fast. You want to give her a little bit of beefiness so that she can survive. She needs a minimum of 85% effectiveness to be a good debuffer. I put her on the the number 2 EE to give her a little bit better chance to sleep, and I added Abyssal Crown to put some stuns in her kit. You could also use Sira Ren. She also will help us do a little bit of damage, but that's not her primary thrust. Our primary damage dealer here is going to be Fire Ravi. Fire Ravi also has stuns in her kit. She also pushes back. She does terrific damage. I'm running her on her number 3 EE to give her even bigger chances to stun in her kit. And for an artifact, I put her on Sigurd's Scythe, though it really wasn't necessary. You could probably go with a different artifact, something that gives a little more damage, because with Achates on the team, we were never wanting for health. Achates, just your classic standard run-of-the-mill Achates, decent speed. You want to have her on 200% effect resistance. Now, I looked at all 3 of her EEs, and none of them really are that advantageous. I don't care about attack break. She does plenty of healing, so she doesn't need the extra healing, and her effect resistance, well, you spend most of the time buff blocked, so that doesn't really matter. You could run her on Tome or Rod or Unfading. She's got a variety of artifact options. I just went with Doctor's Bag to give her an extra cleanse. Now, the meat and potatoes of this fight is Summertime Iseria with her bomb artifact. It doesn't have to be maxed, but it sure helps. You rely a lot less on RNG if that artifact is maxed out. Something I'm trying to do for all of these teams is give a group of people that you can just press auto and run all the way to the boss, because it doesn't look like they're putting a teleport feature in to this mode. Hopefully they'll add that later, but try to take some of the sting out of these very long fights by at least letting you auto all the way to the boss. Now, you should arrive just outside of the top morale condition, so it's a good time to camp to get your morale all the way up and get that extra 5% health bonus by being fully camped.
Who's a better colleague? Someone who does whatever they want but is reliable when they need to be? Or someone who works hard but makes mistakes from time to time?
Everyone has days they feel depressed, but don't let them get you down. Your day will come.
So now that our morale is fully restored, it's time to jump into the fight.
May I help you?
So the 2 spiders in the front, every time they S3, they will heal the Arahakan. So to deal with that, we're going to place a bomb on each one. Now the goal is to always have at least a single bomb that's ready to detonate, and then a backup bomb that'll detonate next turn. Because there's no way to get the bombs to detonate early, I'm going to go ahead and use the S3 to stun them just so they don't do any damage, and also to get the set up for the next set of bombs. Now, when I use Tenebria's S3 or S2, it's an AoE attack. It triggers Iseria, and I did not get any bombs on anybody. Well, that's disappointing. but at least they're slowed.
Vitality, rush forth.
Achates cycling is standard. You S2 yourself, then you S3 the party, and repeat is all she ever does. Now that it's Iseria's turn again, I can go ahead and try to establish a bomb on the spiders, and it resisted again. I'm getting 15%ed like crazy here, but that's okay. This is a pretty stable team because you have so many units that control the fight. Again, Achates just does her S2, S3 combination. That also is a powerhouse for generating souls. I'll use the S3 on Tenebria here just to try to get some defense breaks and sleeps, because remember, we do need to kill the spiders. So there is still no bomb. Wow, that's okay. It's still going to work, trust me.
May I help you?
There we go. So I got a bomb on the top spider.
You're going to get better. You may try to defy me.
And we sleep the top spider so that it can't do anything, and that will give the bomb a chance to age and be ready to detonate. We'll get a bomb on the second spider. Finally, the bottom spider doesn't resist. Now we have our bombs set up ideally. The goal here is to make sure that as soon as the spider takes a turn, a bomb detonates, and then we put another bomb in place, and we maintain that so the spiders never get to take turns. So you notice we have a bomb that's got 1 turn cooldown on each spider and a bomb that's got a 2 turn cooldown on each spider. This way, whenever it's the spider's turn, they will stun non-stop as long as we maintain putting bombs on them. Eventually the spiders will die. This will give us access to putting damage into the Devourer, and we just continue to repeat this cycle. I'm going to speed the fight up a little bit because it is kind of repetitive from here on out. The important thing is, once you get damage on the Devourer, is to make sure you maintain this. Now, it's not early on that important. I could have just burst down the spiders and gotten into the fight, but I wanted to show early how to set up the dynamic where you've got bombs on each unit. Now you notice that bottom spider only has 1 turn bombs left, so I need summertime to get a bomb on that bottom spider next, because you always want to have a bomb that's got 2 turns and a bomb that has 1 turn on both spiders. Now we've got a 2 turn and a 1 turn bomb, so when the spider takes a turn, it'll stun, and then the other bomb will be ready to stun it the next round, and that gives us plenty of time to establish more bombs. So right now the top spider now needs a new bomb.
I didn't think they'd follow us all the way here.
And it resisted.
Shall I let you dream endlessly?
There we go. Stunned anyway, so that'll give us plenty of time. Now, one of the more frustrating parts of this fight is the Devourer does have a stun on his S1. Now, you could put Achates up front. She does have the effect resistance to never be stunned, but she spends half her time behind that gold shield, and the Devourer won't target the gold shield anyway, so it's really not that important. You're going to have to deal with some of your ads being stunned, but since everybody has got some kind of control to them, it makes the fight pretty stable.
I won't lose. Round and round. Immature.
I swear. I'll send you all away, cat.
Okay, now that that front spider is dead, both the ads are down. When the Devourer takes a turn, he will apply a buff block to your entire team, and then summon the spiders back, just like the old Hell Raids. That mechanic is still the same. Also still the same as whenever the spiders take a turn, they're going to heal the most damaged unit, which will probably be the Devourer. And that's why we're running a control team here. So I've been saving this S3 to use for now. Hopefully we get stuns on both of the ads. And we do, so that's perfect. Summertime Iseria does her thing, and she puts a bomb on the top one, so I only need to bomb the bottom one. And there we go. So now we have bombs on both of them, and they're already stunned, so I don't need to worry about controlling them anymore. I'm going to go ahead and use Tenebria's S3 because it has a defense break on it. The Doctor's Bag let my S2 cleanse that stun off of Ravi. That's another reason I prefer Doctor's Bag over using Rod or Unfading in this fight, is occasionally it can, you know, help free up your Ravi. Now you can stick bombs on the Devourer. He will not get stunned from them, but he does take damage from them. In fact, when you get to the very end of the fight, you can stack a whole bunch of bombs on him and then detonate them to clear the fight. Just be very sure that you've got enough bombs to do it. Now, if there's a defense break, I like to soul burn Ravi because it does a lot of damage, like almost 15% of the health bar in one hit. So it's kind of worth it. I'm going to go ahead and soul burn to establish my bombs again. That bottom one is resisting like crazy. And there we go. Good lord. Okay, resist it again. And resist it again. This is ridiculous.
You're going to get better.
I mean, we're still fine. The team is still stable. One more chance for a bomb, and I got it that time.
Immature.
For those wondering, no. This is just really, really bad luck. You don't need to stack 500% effectiveness on your summertime. Anything over 85% effectiveness will maximize your chance to place bombs. I'm just being very unlucky. Okay, so I'm going to continue placing the bombs and continue doing as much damage to the Devourer as possible while his defense buffs are down. This will be the turn where he puts the defenses back up. I can no longer bomb him, so now we are back to trying to kill both of the spiders off, but at the same time keeping them controlled while we're doing it so that they don't heal the Devourer, because the Devourer is now the lowest health unit, and every time they take a turn, they'll do their web spray attack and heal about 10 to 15% of the Devourer's health. This is very repetitive, so I'm going to speed it up to the 50% mark. Something unpleasant happens when Devourer's health drops below 50%, and you kind of want to be aware of it and prepared for it. And by prepared for it, I mean make sure your skills are off cooldown and that you have some souls banked up. So to make sure your souls are banked up, just try to avoid burning summertime as much as you can. But we're right at 50% health. As soon as we drop him below 50% with the next hit, it doesn't matter where he is on the CR bar. As soon as you drop him below, he will automatically cleanse everybody on the team, automatically break out of his damage phase, put his defense buffs back up, and he will remove all of the debuffs from the spiders, and they were going to be ready to heal him. So you better be ready to stun them, or else they're going to heal him for about 20% and waste a whole bunch of your time. So because I saved some souls, I'm going to be able to stun one of them. So I'm going to stun that front one. I don't have the souls to put a bomb on the second one, so I've got to go ahead and just use my S3. I'll stun that first one so he can't heal. Hopefully Ravi can stun the second one. Luckily, the Devourer didn't hit my Ravi. I saved up the S3 specifically for this so that I could try to stun the second one. And I got it. So worst case here is they would have gotten turns, and I would have gone from about, we're at about 35% health. I'd have probably pushed back up to about 50% health before I got control of the fight again. It's not catastrophic, it just wastes about another 15 minutes of your time. This entire fight is about wasting your time. It's all there is to it. It's not a fun fight. It's tedious. You can't hit auto. You've got to pay attention to it because you've got to monitor the bombs. You got to make sure you don't get the bomb icon and the slow icon confused. I've done that a few times. But as long as you maintain control over the spiders, you'll be able to keep them from healing the Devourer, and you'll be able to push this fight all the way to the end. Once again, I'll speed this up just to get us pretty close to the end, because it's the exact same fight all the way through. Other than that 50% hiccup mechanic, there's nothing else special about this fight. You maintain control either through sleeps or stuns or bombs until you get to the very end of the fight. Once you get the Devourer back into his damage phase where his defensive buffs are gone, you can start to stack bombs on him. There we go. So with this AoE hit, I'm hoping that I get a few extra bombs placed.
Stay focused.
I got them on the front adds, but that's fine, because I think the Devourer's close enough that if I stick 2 bombs on him, I should be able to detonate and kill him. So we'll soul burn this bomb into the Devourer. Sticks 1. Sticks 2. I'm going to go ahead and S3 and detonate, and that should clear the phase. Now, if you're better with your soul management, you could probably soul burn 3 or 4 bombs into him and blow him up a little bit easier, but that is how I cleared the first stage of Nightmare. And I get to do it again because I don't have the tokens to make all these videos in one run, so I have to yield so that I can go and do the next fight and make the next video. So I hope this helps you clear this fight. I will work on other teams next month when it opens up again. I'll try to keep a variety coming out because I know people are going to say, what if I don't have this unit? What if I don't have that unit? There's lots of guides out there. I'm sure we'll be able to figure something out moving forward, but I wanted to clear it first with units that I had built and units that I didn't have to re-gear. Because if I have to do this every month, I don't want to have to re-gear every single time. I want to have a stable team in reserve that I can just fire up and run when this event resets. I should have the next video up here shortly. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, consider giving a like and maybe a subscribe. Have a great one.